Polluted Thoughts Podcast, real talk with real people. I'm your host, Colin Gary. 3, 2, 1. Polluted Thoughts Podcast, we're live here. This is a very anticipated episode. We're supposed to do it 2 or 3 times. We're here with Alizah Raboin, an old friend of mine. We go back pretty far. and
Swaggosaurus Rex. Oh my god.
yeah, it used to be the old IG, Swaggosaurus Rex 23.
That legendary
Middle
icon.
school. That has to be like one of the best Instagram names. You know, I didn't even come up with that name.
How did it come?
My boy Aussie Guy said that I was the Swaggosaurus Rex,
It's
like
true.
jokingly.
He wasn't lying.
And then I ran with it, and it became like an alter ego within like other towns and things.
Yeah,
like you guys would call me that.
Iconic.
Yeah, but we go way back, and I'm excited because like it seems that a lot has changed since high school.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, it happens with a lot of people, but it's more
school,
drastic than it seems.
High school.
But I was gonna say that's also my case as well. I mean, like it's
absolutely.
much different than high school, and I think that it takes that gap between high school and where we are now to really like start to find yourself.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, it's hard growing up in like Lunenburg of all places, you know, small town. Everybody knows your business. It's like there's not much diversity, no room to really grow. You know, you see the same faces. You're talking about the same shit most of the time. So I guess like for me, when I go to school at UMass, and when I just kind of, you know, was living on my own, away from my family, away from the drama and whatnot, like, I don't know, I really was able to spend some time in my own head and really think about
I was gonna say, it's
high
the time you
school.
spend with yourself.
Exactly,
is the most important.
exactly. Think about, you know, decisions I've made in the past, and, you know, good or bad, doesn't matter, just how I really want to be spending my time, because we only have, you know, so much time here.
Seriously. No, it like, I mean, I don't really want to go around spreading business, but Nico's neighbor, you know what I'm talking about? Nico Gonzalez is the crackhead that lives downstairs. He passed away recently, and he was like such a sweet guy, you know, like down to the heart, troubled, and that itself made me really start to like not take anything for granted.
Wait,
you know?
That's actually interesting.
Yeah, no, it really is, because like I don't know, I thought it'd be a good movie idea because it would really trouble the audience.
No, so true.
Because like he was really troubling
like
to like even, you know, exactly, like I could I sympathized with him every time he came up and like talked to us, but like he was such a sweet guy. He always was trying to do stuff for us or like do good for us, but like he was really troubled, you know. But that alone made me really like become more grateful. You know, I had that podcast with Jimmy Cran. He made me more grateful about like my life in general.
That's amazing.
But like hearing, you know, just like news like that, when you hear it, you're like, damn, like that was somebody I knew, and now they're gone forever, and that could happen to anyone at any point in time, at any second.
Literally, and that's
it's
why,
really
like,
crazy.
For me, it's like being in the present moment is like what I preach. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's
my
like
God.
it's like I don't know like when to talk about what, because I have so much I want to say, but I'll just say this. It's like, well, since I've gone to college, let's talk about that real quick. You know, I've put a lot of focus on, you know, my own mental health, my own like personal growth and stuff like that.
You just posted, I like those videos that you posted, like 7 minutes long.
Yeah,
like,
thank you. I think, like, you know, the thing about those is I was like posting them because it was, you know, what I was like channeling and what I was feeling, and then after I was like, okay, well, I'm worried about how people are perceiving me, and that's an issue that I battle with all the time, because it's like at one side I'm like, okay, I don't give a shit about Instagram, like I don't care like about how people perceive me, you know, I come up with a fucking new small business like every 3 weeks, which is like I'm gonna just expose myself. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you definitely know, but it's like, you know, on Instagram and any social media platform, it's like you literally are like acting for people pretty much, you know.
I've been saying this. You're putting on your best self. That's why all the pictures on my Instagram are black and white.
Yeah, that's cool actually.
Because I don't think anything's in color. I think everything's like very black and white on like social media. It's either yes or no with a lot of the shit.
Wait,
you know,
that's interesting.
It's really like, I don't know. If someone posts something, some like news account posts something, it's always left or right.
Yeah, no, so
or
true.
it's always yes or no, or it's always like I love this, or like, you know what I mean? People are putting on a show for each other. It's like their best version of themselves. So that's why I post everything black and white.
That's
it's like
cool.
It's not really what what it actually is. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, the thing is you're presented like with one picture, one caption. There's no context to it. There's no anything.
Yeah.
And it's like you just like, okay, they look good there. They don't look good there. Like they've gained weight. They haven't gained. You know what I mean? It's very like. You're right. Exactly. It's like
everything's
very
so
black and white.
It's like the modern age judge a book by its cover, but literally like they present you the page for you, like to do.
No, I know, it's whack. But what I was saying is that you know, I go through these like ups and downs of like, okay, I'm gonna be totally authentic on Instagram and I'm gonna like, you know, share, you know, my thoughts and whatnot, and then I'll just like, you know, a couple weeks later I'll just be like, fuck it, I'm taking them down, and that's like. I don't like that about myself.
I get it. I've done
you know what I
like
mean?
that, yeah.
It's like everything I said in those like short videos when I was posting those is like I still stand by that and I still mean that. But like it gets to like a point where it's like, okay, how do I want to be perceived? Like are some people thinking yourself. I'm like what?
How you're representing yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like definitely a struggle I go through like a lot, you know. It's like, do I post the bikini picture for the likes, or do I like talk about like deep shit and like have people perceive me maybe like a certain way? It's not like, I don't know, it just
I get exactly 110% what you're saying. I battle it. Obviously I'm not able to post like bikini pictures and I'm not like hanging around with beautiful girls all the time, so like, you know, I don't have that option, but like I know the struggle that you're talking about. I've like posted things and then they get no likes or whatever, and then you're like, fuck,
why?
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, this is the realest shit that I posted. Why don't I get any likes on it? And then like you end up archiving it or whatever you do with it.
Exactly.
And then like you kind of just feel. I don't know,
so
like they didn't like they buy fake. Everybody buys fake. Nobody buys into real anymore. That was the idea of the podcast. Wow, real talk with real people. Nobody buys real. Like they're all into fake shit all the time. Like nobody. Like I've been working on a music project with Liam lately, with Liam Aslan.
Oh, that's actually sick.
Yeah, I love Liam. He's a musical genius. That kid can hear shit. Like I sampled some like brass orchestra that was like insane, and he just started playing the riff like off the top of his head.
Some people are just
it was insane.
Like, different.
But we came up with a line, or I wrote this line. It was like non-original pictures painted as scriptures and such, and that's how I feel about like what's going on, especially with music, but just in social media, like. They're non-original. All the things that people are doing aren't original. It's all imitation, especially in rap music and stuff. It's all imitation, but like they're non-original pictures, but they're painted as scriptures. Like they're painted as
that's
if.
Actually,
I've been writing a lot of poems lately.
Wait, that's fucking sick.
And like, yeah, Liam's inspired me to do that because I talked about it on the podcast and said how I used to feel feminine doing it, but he really put like channeled my inner poet. But like, I just think that's how it is, you know. Like everyone thinks that they've come up with something real, but it's another imitation of something else that you know what I mean. And then they strike it off as real, and that's what everyone buys these days. Like, I don't know, every rapper ever, like fuck, you know. And it's just like I don't know.
I totally understand what you're saying.
I truly think that you're being authentic on your social media. I just don't think that you should take down those things anymore because that keeps you authentic. I don't think you should let it like weigh you down or anything.
No,
you could always do more.
It's just like it's hard, you know. It's like someone new comes to my page, they see me at like 5 a.m. meditating, like.
Dude, that's cool shit.
No, I know it is.
That's like the shit that I see is cool.
No, you're so right, and this is what I'm gonna say because you've kind of made me realize something. Is that like so just in terms of like, you know, like dating or whatever, like trying to like find new people to talk to or whatever. If somebody like comes on my Instagram page and like, you know, sees my pictures, whatever, I'm looking good, whatever, and then like swipes to see my Instagram TVs or whatever, and then are like, you know, drawn away from that because they're like, oh, this girl's like maybe a little weird, then I guess I don't want them in my life anyways.
I would say, I mean, like, I've always known you're weird, but it's the good, but it's the good kind of weird. It's the good kind of weird, you know what I mean? Like, it's a personality characteristic rather than, like, you just being weird. Like, it's part of your personality, you know what I mean? It's different.
No.
So, like, if they're not willing to, like, rejoice and join in with that, then, like, that's not the person for you because, like, you need to find someone who's also a little weird, you know?
That's so true. It's just a struggle I go through, like, all the time. Like, just, like, how do I want to be represented? You know, it's, like, I want... Like, it's so hard because, like, especially, like, meeting people online, you know what I mean? Like, you're in college, you, like, you know, someone will slide into your Insta DMs or whatever. It's, like, easier to attract, like, people when you don't share that stuff about yourself. But then again, what you just said, it's like, okay, well, if I'm gonna attract the right people who are like, you know, like same like frequency as me if, you know, I do keep that shit up.
I think that's when you start to find like your movement per se.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, like you said, you started up like a new small business every 2 weeks, but
So
I don't think that's an issue. I think that's a good thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Think about all like excuse me, fucking weed. Think about all the things that like, I don't know, any successful entrepreneur did before that they got to the one thing that they're doing.
Thank you for saying that, because it's something I like.
It's just like a bunch of things that'll all come together, and then you'll finally find that one idea that you're gonna like really. It's gonna feel different too, because like I can tell that you're passionate about some of these things, but then I can tell that like it's not 100% of your focus if you're not doing it all the time. You know what I mean? Right. But that's not an issue because it's just not, you haven't found it. Mm-hmm. You haven't found the thing yet. You know what I mean?
Thank you for saying that, because it's hard, like especially on Instagram. You know, like I come up with like a new idea, and it's like, I'm very impulsive, so I just I'm gonna post it. You know me, I'm gonna like show everybody.
Dude, no, but I respect that about you. Was another thing that I wanted to say was like people, especially around here, bro. People think like I'm weird or whatever, or like you post something weird and they're like, dude, well, Alizah's been like doing some weird shit. And, like, what was weird about that? You know what I mean? Like that was fine. You know what I mean? Like not even like our friends, just like people in general. You know what I mean? Yeah. They'll just be like, well, like what are you doing? Or like what is she doing? And it's like we're trying to do something different. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like, I'm sorry that weirds you out or whatever. I mean, like, but like, I think that you really need to do more of that shit. I think that shit was really important. And I think that might have been your itch, or your niche.
No, it literally is. You're right. Thank you for saying that.
No. You don't have to thank me. I think that's the truth. That's how I feel. You know, I think that well, you got a podcast started now.
Yeah, yes, I'm working on it. You know what I mean?
Well, no, also, you only got one episode in. Like everyone's a progression.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Me and my best friend at school, Isha, she's literally an angel. I'm obsessed with her. She's It was like
British. What is she?
No, she's not British.
Does she? She just talks like that.
No, okay, so real quick, I'm gonna address the British accent. Like, I've been doing it for probably 5 days straight, and I like Luke, he cannot stop, but that's okay. No, okay, I actually need to break it because I have work today.
That would be funny, you should do
No, I like actually have been at work. Like, I've been going up to tables and be like, "Can I get you anything?" Oh, that's a word. Okay, wait. What are we talking about? Reel it in here.
Your podcast, yeah.
Oh, okay, my podcast. Yeah, so me and Isha, we just like, she's the type of person we just like sit next to and you just literally like think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like.
That's how I kind of feel with Liam.
Yeah, those people are the best.
No, they're the best. The people that make you think.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my god, they're the best. I love surrounding myself with those people.
Exactly. So we were just like actually at like a bagel shop and then just like eating bagels, and then we just started having a good conversation. So we're like, why not just record it? You know what I mean? So we just recorded it, and yeah, you know, listening back to it, I was like,
did she do the whole thing in the British accent?
Yes.
That was impressive.
Oh, thank you.
Because like I listened to like the first like couple minutes and like I couldn't. I was like, what are they doing? I was like. No, I thought, but like it took me a second, but then I was like, "That's genius. I should do like."
I don't know though, because like the thing is like after I listened to it back, I realized like the beginning half, I was like, just kind of talking about things I didn't know enough about. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Like especially when it comes to like politics, if you're gonna talk about politics, you gotta know your facts.
No, yeah,
you know?
I've gotten into it with like a couple people like Ethan and like Liam, and like I hold my own, but like. You know, I'm waiting for like Tom Bodkin to come on, and you know, and then I'm not gonna know anything.
No, exactly.
But like when you're by yourself and it's like two people who can't like regulate, you know what I mean? Like me and Al, you put me and Al together. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So like looking back, I was watching it and I'm like, okay, the first half was like a little different, but the second half is when we start talking about like things, you know, that like me and Isha can actually like speak on. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I guess I'm gonna like talk about spirituality now because it's like kind of my forte. And that's like when I was making this video, is like it wasn't even.
That wasn't a spiritual. That was more like mental health.
No,
and
exactly.
I thought that was real shit, but I think you could find a good mix of two. You could do both. You know what I mean? Just videos of yourself talking.
Yeah. So the thing is that like.
Gotta be in nature too. Yeah, I feel like that's an important thing.
So true. But the thing is that like those videos I was making on Instagram, they weren't like, you know, like spiritual per se as people like understand spirituality right now. You know, it's like for me, like I don't even like, first of all, I don't pray every day. I used to, but then I kind of like fall off that grind. But
you're religious?
Okay. No, so what I'm saying is that I'm not religious by any means. You know, like I don't like, I honestly think that every religion, you know, like Christianity, Buddhism, Judaism, whatever, they all have their own, like they're all kind of true.
No, I think that they're all stories based on things that happened in real life. They all just are. It's like I've been saying, everybody's perspective is so different. So then it's literally like like the biggest evidence and example of perspective is like all religion.
No, totally.
Because they're all real life events that like multiple cultures just perceived differently, and then insinuated all these things that happened, like holy spirits and all the rest of it, and then added it in. But I think that they all have their place.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And I don't think anybody's wrong for believing in a religion. At one point in time I did, though. I will say I'm very open about saying that I was like very negative against religion like a couple of years ago, just because like I don't know, I didn't see its purpose for people. You know, people need hope, people need faith. You know, there's not a lot to believe in like in the real life.
That's some real shit.
So like, no, I'm serious. Like people need something to believe in and something to like hold on to. That's like structural and concrete throughout their like lifestyle.
Totally, or else you'll literally go crazy. I mean, some people will.
Well, you gotta have something that you believe in. Like you're spiritual. I want to hear about it.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, like, so spirituality and religion are very different, but also very the same. They're different in the sense that there's like no. Like, spirituality is basically, like, it all comes from within. You're not really, like, you can research different aspects of it, but, like, it's, like, there's no preacher preaching to you about this is what you should believe, this is what you shouldn't believe, you know?
It's, like, inner belief?
Yeah, exactly. So it's, like, it's, for me, it's, like, much more real, obviously, because, like, nobody taught me these things that I believe. It's just kind of, like, what comes from within.
Yeah.
So, I really appreciate that about it. Basically, it's, like, there are, like, aspects of spirituality.
The eye thing that you always do. It's so impressive. I didn't, like,
I don't know. I look kind of goofy when I do it. It's like...
No. It's like, do you know who L.A. Beast is?
No.
He's just this, like, food guy who just, like, literally does all these fucked up food challenges. And, like, he used to be skinny. Now he's just, like, this big dude who, like, eats, like, 4-foot-long sandwiches. I'm serious. But, like, he does this, like, stupid look every time where he, like, crosses his eyes. He's like... and like smiles and like that's like his logo and like you could brand that the eye roll thing, so but continue.
Okay. Okay, so no, what I was saying is that spirituality. Ugh, there's so much to talk about. Okay, I guess like there are like a bunch of like key factors, I guess, of spirituality. If like I'm talking to someone who doesn't know anything about it. Again, it's different for everybody, but this is for
actually, I tend to not give people like enough information. I feel like I kind of just start talking about things, expecting them to know it. So like, do a little bit of a deep dive here.
So spirituality, I guess, like at its core, is basically the same as religion, but there are no like rules or regulations, and it all comes from within. So basically, like there are key principles that I guess I practice in my spirituality, and I guess we'll start by talking about like what God is or like God or whatever. And for me, like I feel like people who are either religious or like atheists or whatever, like will often personify God as like, you know, like a man sitting at like the gates of heaven, you know what I mean? Like that's like for me that's totally not it. Like I don't even think God is like a person, like it can't really even be personified because like for me God is not like one thing. It's just like the highest universal consciousness.
Yeah.
So it's like the highest vibration, the highest frequency.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's like it's not like it's more of like a power than like a person.
You know, have you ever seen Avatar?
I've seen a few episodes. I loved it.
Like the blue people.
Oh no.
You haven't seen that?
No.
So like the whole idea of it is like I kind of realized it's just like a satire on Native American like us purging their lands and things, you know, but like we show up on another planet, there's all these blue people, and they're like connected to the land through like this god, like Iwa or something like that, and it's like in everything. It's like in the plants, it's in the water, it's in like the thing. That's what I find more believable. And I don't even know if it's like a god, but like some sort of like earthly like energy, yeah, that just like is all connected in one.
Wow.
But that's kind of what I was kind of sensing.
Yeah,
maybe a little
totally,
bit, you know what I mean? But more of like a universal thing rather than a planetary thing.
Exactly. And that's the thing is that like for me, like if I were to like sit down and like pray right now, like I wouldn't be like praying to like Jesus. No disrespect to Jesus, like
no, of course
like,
not. But like that's not
I would I would just be like praying to the universe, I guess I would say. And it's like for me it's more like
manifestation.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's definitely a part of it. That's definitely a piece of it. Is like basically it's like we as humans are way more powerful than like what, you know, the government or like whatever like we're kind of believing, or we grow up believing to be, you know. It's like there's so much to talk about.
Well, they're trying to keep us content.
Yeah.
Like they don't want us to be too happy because like if everyone was super
too
happy,
powerful.
we wouldn't need them. Like they would have no place in this country because everyone would just be happy running on their own or running on whatever sort of like whatever we got going on, you know what I mean? If we were to be too happy, like they wouldn't have much of a job to do.
And it's also like it's that, and it's also like
it'd probably be like defunded.
Yeah, no, true.
Well, they control the money, so who fucking knows? Actually,
it's also it's that, and it's also just like literally humans are so powerful. Like the power of the mind and the body and the spirit, whatever, is like so much more powerful that they literally like wouldn't be able to control us. And by this I mean like different things, like fucking like lucid dreaming, like astral projection, like fucking like
astral projection,
like what
is astral projection?
Oh jeez, bro, we're about to open a crazy door. So basically astral projection is like, okay, so
like astrology and like
no. Oh, okay. Well, like okay, so that's like another key point that some spiritual people like really believe in. But so astral projection.
My girlfriend's into that. She's upstairs sleeping, by the way. My girlfriend. Maybe she'll be up by the time you get. Yeah, she's sleeping.
Okay. So astral projection is basically like, okay, it sounds so crazy, but it's like essentially like a state of meditation. Okay, so like to astral project, you like begin by meditating, and essentially it's when your soul leaves your body and you are able to travel along the astral plane.
What's the astral plane?
So the astral plane, if you like Google it or whatever.
Yeah. We can get I was gonna say, we can get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, it basically is essentially the dimension between like heaven or like that higher like level of like consciousness, whatever, and Earth.
Astral plane. Here we are.
Yeah.
Astral plane, otherwise known as the astral realm or world, is a plane of existence postulated, that's a crazy word, by classical, medieval, oriental, and esoteric philosophies and mystery religions. Oh, let's go back. Let's get the short down version. I mean that's what it is.
What does it say on the side right there?
That's what it said. Yeah, I don't know.
Let me see it. I can find it. Okay. So go back to wiki. Go down a little bit. History, keep going. What the heck? The government probably censors this shit.
Yeah, they do probably.
Alright, go back up a little bit. Let me see. Okay, here it is.
According to the occult teachings, the astral plane can be visited consciously through astral projections, meditation and mantra, and near-death experience, lucid dreaming, and other means. Individuals that are trained in the use of astral vehicle can separate their consciousness in the astral vehicle from the physical body at will.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah.
It's like an out-of-body experience.
No, literally. So that's exactly like what it is. It's like you're literally meditating and then you feel like your soul leave your body and then you're like just literally conscious somewhere else.
That's crazy. I never had an out-of-body experience.
Yeah. Like, okay, so like I have.
That's crazy.
No, not like
through
actually.
meditation?
So, okay, so basically, I'm just gonna tell like a long story short.
Okay.
Basically, like, I was at like this like it's called the Hadley Reservoir in Amherst, and like I was like,
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's awesome place. You should go. But
I was like,
what?
Is it like a trail?
Is it a trail?
Like a hiking trail?
Yeah, but it's also just like a reservoir, like water. Okay, so I was like, meditating like a fuck ton, like that, like month pretty much, and then so I was like, feeling really good, and I went to this reservoir by myself. I just like brought like my journal and like a book or whatnot, some crystals, and I just went in the water and was like floating on my back. Okay, so I was just like literally just by myself floating in the water. And I wasn't even like intentionally meditating. Like I had like no intentions of like, okay, I'm gonna focus on my breath or like whatever. I was just literally lying there. And then I literally, like, I'm not making this up, I sound kind of crazy, but I started seeing like mandalas in my head, like, do you know what I mean? Like patterns. Yeah. Okay, so then I heard this like universal like kind of noise, like this like hum. Dude, it's so whack. So I heard that, and then I literally swear I feel like, I don't even know how to describe the sensation, because it has never happened before, and it's never happened since. Like, I felt like my soul leave my body. Like, I'm...
It sounds... I get it.
Yeah. So it was almost just like I was like there in the water.
I
and
don't
then I
get
just,
what
like,
you're trying to say, but I get what you're trying to...
So it's like I was there, and then I just, like, wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like, I was just, like, not in the same spot. But it was, so basically, it was such a crazy feeling that
that's, like, so much more believable to me than, like, anybody telling me anything about, like, them, like, meeting Jesus or anything. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's no offense to anybody who's ever said that they've met Jesus or anything. But, like, that's just a lot more, like, perceivable to me than, like, somebody, like, walking on water.
No, I totally understand what you're saying.
So, like, you enter this astral plane.
Okay, so no. So, no, I didn't, is what I'm saying, is that I literally felt my soul leave, and it was the craziest feeling I've ever felt, so I went, oh, shit.
And you woke up?
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. That was...
Spin it.
That was a little dramatic.
There we go. It, like, goes,
Okay. Pull it together. Okay, so basically I went like, and like jumped out of the water, like lifted up, and then I was like, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, I just like, was like, okay, listen, I'm not trying to like drown right now, like by myself in the water. So I just like, left the water, went on the sand, and was like, okay, that was fucking cool. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to do it again, but I guess I'm going to try. So I just, like, set intentions, like, in my journal, because if you're going to astral project, like, you need to do it pretty safely. So I, like, set intentions in my journal, and then I was, like, just, like, lying on the sand trying to meditate. Didn't happen again. It hasn't happened since. Honestly, I haven't really tried. I know people who, like, can do this actively.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah. It's kind of like...
I was just... The reason I'm, like... sighing my eyes closed, so I was just thinking, like, I can't even fucking, like, I don't have enough attention to, like, sit down and even, like, meditate.
Yeah.
Like, I've tried many times, it's just, like, not something that I can do. I have to find, like, other forms of, like, relaxing.
That's okay.
But, like...
it's not for everybody.
No, of course not. But, like, that's just crazy to me, because that's something that's, like...
Yeah, right.
What a beneficial, like, thing to have.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, like, I have a friend who has done it before, and she was actually terrified, and, like...
We're almost at 30 minutes.
I know. Let me actually check the time real quick.
It's only 9:11.
9:11.
What time did you have to leave by? Oh, by the way, we started this at 8:30 in the morning. We got an early jump on the pod.
Oh yeah, we did up in Adam.
And she has to be at her job for 11 in Amherst.
Okay, wait. I'm actually fine. I can definitely talk for like 20 more minutes.
Oh, word. Sweet. All right, then we get a full podcast. Word.
Right?
Well, then we're going to take this second to go to Jason's ad. We're talking flipping ships.
Hell yeah, Jason!
Our sponsor for PTP is Flippin' Ships. Flippin' Ships was founded by CEO Jason Reynolds during late quarantine, and Jason is in the business of providing you with entertainment. Whether you're looking for a restored boat in great condition you can take on the lakes, or if you're interested in watching the process go down, Jason's got it all. His TikToks show the process in an entertaining way for all ages, but check out his YouTube videos because they show every detail of the flip. Check him out on TikTok and YouTube for some at-home or on-the-go entertainment. His handle is Flippin' Ships. That's flipping without the G, ships. And be on the lookout for these flip ships soon on Facebook and Instagram.
yeah.
Alright, word. We got it for another at least 20 minutes. Continue this.
Okay. So the story actually gets crazier.
Okay.
Hold on. Alright, so I was in the water. I was basically on the verge of astral projection. I didn't actually astral project. I was like, what the fuck? I went, oh. And then,
What?
and then I was like, okay, so then I was on the sand, and I was, like, setting intentions, whatever, and then I was, like, lying there, and I was, like, trying again, and it couldn't happen. And then this is where shit gets, like, interesting, and I'm gonna, like, talk about it, even though I think people might think I'm weird, but that's okay.
Yeah, but this is, like, the idea of it, is, like, they're getting the real you, and they're hearing things, and, like, the people that don't understand it or don't agree with it, it's cool, but, like...
Fuck them.
Not even just fuck them, it's just, like, everyone's got their own shit, you know what I mean?
No,
like, they're gonna... But the people that do, like, you could, like, actually impact someone's, like, life. They might see you and say, like, wow, I heard what you said, and, like, I've been trying to meditate or whatever, or trying to do that, you know what I mean?
No, you're so right. Okay, so... Anyway, so I was lying on the sand at the Hadley Reservoir, and I was trying to astral project again. This was, like, back in June, by the way. And, okay, so... I didn't, like, astral project again. I was, like, trying to. I was just lying there meditating for probably, like, 20 minutes, maybe longer. And, okay, so I didn't astral project, but I did get this, like, really strange sensation in my left hand, okay? So it was, like, only in my left hand, and basically, to make, like, a long story short, I, like, realized I can do what's called Reiki. Do you know what Reiki is?
No.
Okay, Google that one.
How do you spell it?
Reiki.
I mean, that was honestly how I was assuming. Yeah, right. I was assuming that it was. I thought that it was going to be spelled like that, but then I was also assuming that it was going to be some, like, absurd spelling that was going to be, like...
So, look, there are, like, practitioners, like, in the area.
Alternative meditative, energy healing practitioners. Okay, I'm going to read this louder. Reiki or Reiki?
Reiki.
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 Reiki is a Japanese form of alternative medicine called energy healing. Reiki practitioners use their technique called palm healing or hands-on healing, through which is a universal healing, is said to be transferred through the palms of practitioners to the patient in order to encourage emotional or physical healing.
Yeah. Okay, so look, there are, like, practitioners.
Is that like the fire stuff? Like, you got, like, fire on you? Ever seen Karate Kid?
No. Well, it might be, but I've never seen that.
He does, like, this shit. He, like, puts, like, flames on his hands, and he does shit with his hands.
It's probably, like, a reference to that, honestly. So Reiki essentially, like, it's, like, work with, like, the chakras. Do you know what a chakra is?
Yeah. They're, like, the spiritual helm of, like, you know, they're, like, almost like a priest. They're the shaman.
Them? The practitioner?
No, like, the head of the... You're saying, what is a shaman?
Oh, no, chakra.
A chakra, excuse me.
No.
I'm mixing up chakra and shaman.
No, okay, so chakras are, like, the, you know, like, the 7 energy centers in your body.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Okay. So Reiki is basically,
this
like...
shit right here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Reiki is basically, like, energy work with the chakras, kind of. And, like, okay... So basically, like, after that day, I was getting that weird sensation in my hand, like, and then I was, like, with somebody, and I was holding their hands, and they're like, your hands are making mine feel warm and tingly. And I was like, that's weird. So
the British accent is so good. Alex Archambault would be jealous. We work on our British accent all the time.
That's so funny. It's so much fun. It's like, too
great.
much fun.
It's a great time. We do this all the time. Like, someone will have them be like, incredible, he's done it. It's impeccable.
Awesome.
He's done it. And, like, we'll yell that shit.
That's hilarious.
But continue. Chakra. You're making the guy's hand tingly.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, hold on. What are the 7 chakras here?
Okay, that would be a long conversation.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it. Third eye is one of them?
Yeah, okay, so that's the pineal gland. That's the third eye. That one's pretty cool. But, okay, so I was, like, making this person's hands feel warm and tingly. I was like, that's fucking weird. Like, can you leave my house? No, I'm just kidding. But, anyways, I just, like, kind of realized that I can, like, do this. It's basically just, like, energy work, like, that, like, you know, can help with certain things, like, physical and, like, mental, like, ailments. Yeah, it's actually really cool. Like, I basically just do it on my friends, like, honestly.
So, like, what has it worked on?
Okay, so there was this guy who lives in my apartment. He's, like, one of my friends, like friend, whatever. He's like really cool, but he was complaining of like chronic knee pain, like his whole life. He's had like knee pain. And then I went and did like Reiki on him. And basically, when I say did Reiki on you, all that basically is like I put on some like frequencies, like light and incense, and then just like kind of like massage you, but it's like I don't know, whatever. So don't laugh at me.
No. I just thought it was funny the way you presented it. Like you're fixing his knee, and you're like, I put on some frequencies, light and incense.
No, but I'm like being so dead ass right now.
No. I get it. Did you like? Where'd you read up on it? Like, where'd you find this shit? Like,
okay, wait, hold on. Let me finish that real quick, and then I'll tell you that. So, so you basically just like it's like healing through like touch, I guess, and like it said that this like universal energy like transfers through your hand, and then
it's like a Western form. It's like
exactly. It is.
Like, I'm sure
for
like
thousands
very
and
commonly
thousands
practiced.
of years. Yeah,
I'm sure it's like probably one of the heavily practiced.
No, it like actually is.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I basically like did this on his knee. He just said that like while I was doing it, he felt like warm and like tingly sensation on his knee, and he's like, okay, cool. And then
okay, cool.
and then so then I hadn't talked
to him.
Do you
have a diamond on your tooth? I saw that on Snapchat. On not even on your Snapchat. It was like on like a slide thing. People like getting.
Oh
thing.
really? Yeah. I've had it for a couple weeks now. You know, just testing it out, testing the waters.
Yeah, testing the waters. Continue. I just noticed it. That's crazy. So, the first time I ever saw that was yesterday.
Trendsetter is me. Okay.
Hensetter.
Okay. All right, so I am doing Reiki on his knee, and then so then I don't really talk to him much. Like he was busy, I didn't really see him, and then I saw him in the elevator maybe like 2 weeks later, and this is like this is when I had kind of like the oh shit moment. You know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck? So I saw him. I didn't even ask him how his knee was or feeling or whatever, and I saw him in the elevator, and he's like I literally am not kidding. Like I've gone to the gym like every day, and my knee just doesn't hurt anymore. And I was like, I'm a fucking magician. Like, what's going on? Like, okay, I make a joke of it, but like, it's like, you know, it's like
that's an actual thing though. Like, I'm sure that like if it sounds, there's a lot of things that sound insane when in the States, but are very commonly practiced in Western civilization.
So true.
So like,
for
people may look at you weird, but like if you were to do this in like any sort of like probably like Western European, like Middle Eastern, Asian, like South Pacific, you'd be very like normal.
No, totally. And the thing is that like in Amherst, like it's definitely like more normal than like in Lunenburg because there are like.
Have you seen Friday Night Lights?
No.
They're in like a small town in Texas called Dillon, and like it reminds me a lot of Lunenburg. Yes. If anybody's seen it and they hear this and got this far, let me know what you think about that.
Lunenburg is such a crazy place.
It's insane. You know, I like parts of it and I hate parts of it.
Yeah,
exactly. Like there's some parts of it that like I love that like really like formed me and shaped me. I learned a lot of shit there. But like there's a lot of it that, you know, I just don't fuck with. It's very like towny in so many ways. But I do think that people are just scared of what they don't know. So like this is just something that's uncommon, you know, and unknown is the scared big question mark is like an elephant in the room for everybody, you know.
Yeah, it's so
They're
true.
confused by it. So it's like, I don't know. When you like start doing something new and people don't know anything about it, it's confusing to them. They don't understand what's going on. Totally. So they get scared.
Totally.
And then they alienate, you know?
Yeah.
So like I don't think that like truthfully, that's like way more. I believe that shit 100%, and like I don't think that you have to like sell me anything.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah,
because I think that's something that's probably more realistic and probable in my mind than anything else is like religion wise. But you know, I think that's great that you found like your. You should talk about that more. Then
I know
you should do like your little like talks on like Reiki.
Reiki.
Sorry,
well,
dude, I'm terrible. I'm like fucking.
No, you're so funny.
Do you know Joey Diaz?
Yeah,
He can't pronounce shit. It was like a video of him trying to like say this word for like 3 minutes. Joe Rogan was like telling him how to pronounce it. He couldn't say the word. I'm like him. Fuck.
I was gonna. Oh, okay, yeah. So that's like something cool. That's a little fun fact about me.
No, that's sick. That's like your little.
I know, and the thing is like people like literally make like a living off of it.
I was gonna say, I was just going to say that could be your profession.
No, like it actually is probably going to.
Well, what's your major at school?
Marketing. Yeah.
You could be the first ever person to like intertwine marketing and Reiki.
What I was thinking is just like market myself. You know what I mean? Like learn like.
But like. Mm-hmm. You'd be the first ever Reiki practitioner with the marketing major, maybe.
Bro,
maybe not.
Crazy,
though. I wouldn't believe that. I bet there's some people out there.
Isn't that crazy though? I'm like, this is like totally kind of a different topic, but like for a while, like especially in high school and like first year of college, I was like, oh, I'm gonna like chase the bag. Like I need to be rich. Like I need money. Like I'm just gonna go into Eisenberg and like try to like make money. You know, like business, whatever. And then like. I kind of was at a crossroads where I'm like, okay, am I gonna like make money and like try to like fucking, you know, be wealthy or whatever? Or am I gonna like soul search? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, when I realize is like, it's literally not so black and white. Hey, to like tie it all together. Like it's not so black and white. Like you can like make
life
money.
Isn't black and white.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Compared to social media, exactly.
Yeah.
I was just trying to straighten it out.
Oh, yeah, in terms of social media.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, but that's exactly right.
Yeah. So I was like,
No, I'm happy that you've done that. That's smart. It's
really like, genius. Do I literally want to be miserable, like working a 9 to 5?
I think a lot of people, quarantine did this to a lot of people. I think people have taken quarantine for such a negative, you know, but I think that if like you made it out with like minimal damage done to like your family and like your loved one's health and financially, like you came out with a lot of like self-analysis and a lot of like motivation to do something. Like think about all the people that probably quit their 9 to 5 and started their own business, but not even that, but you see it like around here. Think about all the small businesses, all the things that people have started like to create on their own. They can realize they can do it, and like that leads back to like the soul searching thing. Is like everyone just wants to be happy, realistically, and like the people who realize that are very smart. I think, you know, you can like kind of weed out the people who are like just gonna be like stuck in their job for whatever.
3D world,
you know, exactly. Yeah. But like there's a lot of people who are trying to do what they want to do for a living, and they're just like trying to be happy, and they're trying to find their like niche, and that's beautiful. Like I think like I don't know, that's the idea of like the show is like I felt like those people, and that happened during quarantine too. I came up with this during quarantine. That's awesome. It's all like I think that like that everyone needed like a month of just by themselves or like with their loved ones, like deep reflection on like how you've been living your life. Because like I know I was going down like a bad path until like quarantine happened, and then like since then I feel like I've been on like the up and up, like trying to figure my shit out. You know what I mean? But like I think that the idea of the whole podcast stemmed from in quarantine. I was like, dude, no one gets any sort of exposure. Like no one like think about like you post those 7-minute things, right? And like some people saw that and was like, oh, that's weird, right? But then other people saw that and was like, this is great. She's being herself. She's opening up whatever she's talking about. Something that like some people like are actually like tight with and talk about like that. My girl's into that shit. She's not really like as deep into like spirituality, but she's got like stones and stuff and like reads about whatever and like she's into that stuff. So like I don't know. It's just you wouldn't be. Like, you coming on here now, point of the story is that you coming on now is going to give people, like, the real you. You know,
I'm really excited.
They're going to see you for, like, what you are, and they're not going to be like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? It's like, the idea of the show is just to show people what their intentions are, and, like, what people are trying to do, you know what I mean?
I literally love that.
And, like, I love it, you know, and not even like that. I love doing it. I feel like I'm starting to be, like, the host of like the area, you know what I mean? Like,
no, actually
like,
though,
you know?
like you
but like I think it's great because like you might meet somebody that from the podcast like that met you, saw you through the podcast or whatever, and then you guys go off and do your own thing and like whatever, and like that's all people need is like connections and like to talk to new people, and like that's how I learn so much new shit is just talking to people.
I know,
it's great. I love talking to people.
I'm so happy for you and like congratulations on like the
thank
podcast.
you. I mean, it's really not like anything. No, like it doesn't seem like
you don't need to like downplay it. Like even just what you've done so far.
I don't want to be like I don't want to be content though. Is the idea of me like downplaying it?
I understand.
You know?
There's like a big I've learned this. There's like a huge difference between being like satisfied and content, and then like giving yourself some recognition.
Good is the evil of great. good is the enemy.
No, I know.
Great, you know
I know.
It's
like good job is what you're saying.
Well, no. I'm saying like I appreciate you saying all these things. It means a lot, and it like drives me to keep going. And like I appreciate where it's at now. And it's not about the views or anything. That's right. Like it's about like who I talk to and like who I meet and like what connections get made out of this and what happens like outside of life and like the experiences I have with the people that I meet from this and like those are the things that are important to me.
Yeah.
But like this is not. I don't want to stop here. You know what I mean?
No,
like
totally.
I record in my basement and like I want to get like a good spot and like I don't. But the thing is that you were saying is like people start like doing things and like you don't make money off doing what you're doing, but you could make a living, right? So like you would have to like persevere. It was what I was gonna say, but you'd like have to inspire yourself to keep pushing through like no pay for a little bit to get to the spot where you get. But then eventually you'd have like marketing or whatever, and you can market yourself great. Which I was actually gonna say, you can tell that you're a marketing major. I don't know even why I asked because of like the way you market all your small businesses. You do a pretty good job. I'm not gonna lie. Like not even pretty good. It's a good job of marketing compared to like people who just like start shit like on a whim. You know what I mean? Like it looks way more professional than like anybody else's like on like you said you just do it like you
that's
just like you know what I mean? It looks pretty good for just doing it. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like sloppy or unprofessional. But I don't get paid for this. Point of the story is I made like $1 or something off advertisements total. So like the idea is I want to be able to do this for a living so that I'm not going to be happy. I mean, I'm happy. I love doing it, but I'm not going to be like satisfied. That's a better word. You know what I mean? But I do appreciate everything you said. That was great. But it's cool. Like, you have to go. She has to get to the job.
I do.
It's all good. We had a great time.
Really sad. I'm really glad I was able to do this. There's so much more I want to talk about.
No, we can do it again. We'll give it like a little bit of time whenever. Like we'll give it like. I see. The only thing is, I want to give it like time between, so like other people can get on, and then you can come back on, and it'll be like a reoccurrence instead of like just having you on multiple times in a row.
No, I understand. I'm gonna be back in Amherst for obviously the school year.
You know, I'm gonna eventually try to make this thing portable. And
do like over the phone Zoom calls or whatever?
Well, I was gonna do that, but I was gonna say like I'm just gonna put like a black curtain down or something like behind it, and like put like make a sign, and then just like that way I could just kind of do it anywhere, you know. Totally. Because eventually, it looks like I'm gonna be moving to New York, possibly, with Tom Bodkin and a couple other people.
That's
so like
unreal.
It would have to be kind of like portable. I'd have to go to New York.
Really unreal. Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It was a great talk. That was really interesting. All right, I'm gonna leave you how I always leave you. Believe in yourself. Everyone at home, believe in yourself.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Peace.
Goodbye.